As founder of college planning expert Edfin Cash for College, you've mentioned systems are a huge part of what make your company successful, along with the people who make a company exceptional. What are some of the current systems you have in place and find to be most effective and productive in generating and tracking new leads?
So welcome everybody, and first of all, I want to say thank you to Marie for putting this on and everybody that
Absolutely
helped her with this event, because without her we wouldn't be here today. Okay, first of all, I want to celebrate before I start talking about the question is, as I was sitting at my table, and some of you already know this today, is I received a text message from one of my students and her mom in Temecula, Heather Dotson and Lori Schrock. Her daughter actually graduated today with her bachelor's degree in neuroscience, and oh my gosh, super exciting to be able to sit at the table and get a message to know that I had made a difference and helped another student pursue her dreams and goals. And like I always say, it takes a village, it takes a team to accomplish all this. So, but what I really wanted to talk about is why I do what I do, and of course the systems that have helped me and the exceptional people in my business and in the community that help me accomplish what I love to do. And so if I can get a raise of hands, and I know you're all business people, but at the same time, a raise of hand of how many of you have amazing systems in place, or first of all, raise your hand if you could use some help with making your systems better. All right. So when I first started out as a college planner, woman in business, I didn't know anything that I was doing. I was winging it. I was learning as I was going. And then as you learn and you attend workshops like this and you learn from other people, other mentors in the community and networks, events like this, that you have those huge eye-openers when you actually get to apply what you learn. And so with all of that, I've taken that, and I'm going to take a step back, that like Linda was saying, with my bachelor's degree, my master's in human services and psychology, had a lot to do with making all this work as well. So what I have learned as far as making a company be successful is, I know Michael Tracy talked about systems and tactics and all that. Well, I'm in the systems part right now, where my system that I have put in place, and I tell you, we have worked our ass off to get it where it's at. I'm not kidding you, it's that powerful that the system that I put in place is, it's relentless. It's making, and everything that I've learned from the military. Okay, those recruiters, which my husband was one of the recruiters, he's a retired Master Sergeant of the United States Marine Corps. I learned from him product sales knowledge. So I've taken that and I have trained myself and trained my team. So together, all of us together, taking those systems, putting them in place systematically and strategically to make them work like they need to work. And every business puts them in place differently. What works for me may not work for someone else. But what worked for me was that, and for my team, all of us going together, is we make those 100 calls every hour. We make, not 100 calls every hour, sorry, Susan. 100 calls a day and 500 calls a week, which is 2,000, reaching 2,000 families a month is what we do. And then out of all of that, we have outreach coordinating. We go out and reach like 20,000 families within the local area and globally. So I have just been notified here that we need to move on. But if any of you have any questions about what I do, about college planning, and I have a book back here as well, and there's some swag bags back there as well, and some free gifts for you all. And then just look me up on edfincashforcollege.com. It was a pleasure speaking to you all.
How many of you have a business plan? How many of you have a marketing plan? How many have a show up plan? Showing up is the most powerful tool you can have. You need to find out, where are your customers showing up? I've seen so many. The other thing I see all the time is people show up and they sit with everybody they know. You know, you can see them anytime. You need to sit with people you don't know, and then you share the wisdom with the people you do know. You can share the leads. We had a great example of that yesterday at the I nominated some women for awards, and we were in San Diego. And a year ago, I bought a table where we all sat. And I said, no, this year I'm not doing that. We're all going to sit at different tables. And it was amazing how many walked away with fabulous leads. Because number one, they were very clear on what it is they did. So first they listened, they met the people at their table, and they shared how they could help them. You know, it's not what's in it for me. It's how can you make a difference, touch another life, and share a problem or help them with the problem they have. And the reason I've been on this mission is when I was in corporate America in New York, women were not helping women. You know, you try to ask, and it was like they worried about the competition. In my book, there is no competition. People buy from people they like and want to do business with. So remember that. You know, you could have a room filled with almost everybody selling the same thing and maybe two people that are different. They will be attracted to the person that they feel is going to best solve their problem. So, and then, you know, really be careful about where you're going. You don't have a lot of time in a day. So have a show-up plan. Know what you want, but also be willing to ask for it. And I could write 5 books on what has happened since I've been educating women on showing up and how it's changed their life. So I'm here I'm always available. I take calls 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, and I'm known as a connector. I know so many people, but so if you're very clear on who you want to meet, I might know that person. Thank you.
So my message, if I can leave one seed with you today, just my goal, is when you walk out, all these great things that you listen to, all these fantastic things that you heard today, just remember, your business is reliant upon you. And if, for some chance, something happens to you, who, or better what, is going to take care of you? And how will your business stay alive? 70% of our country is going to end up in some kind of long-term care event. That means 30% of us are going to be left standing. Who is going to be in this room part of the 30%? Statistically, what we just did is impossible. So I want you to just understand, it's not just a heart attack, it's not just a stroke, it's not a car accident, it can be anything that can take you down. Please, if there's anything that you do when you walk out of here, is just take that and grow it in your mind. And once you're ready to set something up, go to your financial advisor and get that set up. Because the financial devastation that can happen when somebody goes down is terrifying. I hate to be the Debbie Downer, but this last week I just encountered a couple. He was a very well-known, big construction contractor up in Temecula. 6 months ago he had a stroke. He cannot use the right side of his body. They had nothing. What's left over is what they have from their house, and they're living with their children. So please, as business owners, remember, you are more important than anything. I'm Laura Roeder. I'm with Team Financial Partners.
Thank you, Laura. How can first-time home buyers protect themselves from the unknown? We all need a place to live, and we all need to be protected, as Laura mentioned.
Every home's kind of different. Everybody thinks like their home, nothing bad will ever happen to them. I felt the same way before I got into business, and now I feel like everything bad happens to all of us. But it's kind of like about the 3 little pigs. I don't know if anybody knows that story. But, you know, the first little pig, he built his home out of straw, you know, and the big bad wolf, you know, blew it down. The second one built it out of sticks. Same thing. He smelt the little pigs together. He blew it down again. And then the third one was prepared. You know, he built it out of bricks, and he had, like, it all ready to go. And the bad wolf said, you know, I'm just going to jump through the chimney. And so he was ready to go through the chimney, and the pigs already had his little, like their little soup ready for him so they could eat him. So that's kind of like how I figure my insurance is kind of like we kind of just prepare people for soup, you know, to be ready, you know, for the inevitable. Like a lot of times people get inspections and stuff, and they're like, oh, yeah, they said something about the roof, but nothing's going to happen, right? And then all of a sudden now there's this big roof claim that's like $50,000, $100,000, life-changing. they probably get divorced after this. You know, they probably go to like some kind of seminar after the thing. You know, because their
Different
wife's
seminar.
like, "I told you so," and you never listened to me. So then, you know, so that's kind of how I look at it. But a lot of our business with the claims is like water claims and roof claims. So we always tell people just to kind of know when your updates were done, you know, because a lot of people don't think about that. And then if you know when your updates were done and you know your roof's like 50 years old, you probably want to get it inspected and renewed and all that good stuff. So that's kind of like where I look at it, where I'm just, I'm not the big bad wolf, but I'm kind of like, you know, we're watching little pigs run away, you know, with each other together and trying to help people. So the good thing about being a broker, though, is the fact that we have multiple options for multiple people, so we can kind of steer them in a way, because not every client is the same. So it's always good to have some sort of option to fit somebody somewhere. So that's pretty much all.
Thank you. We're going to move on to Amy now, who came up with this very innovative product, and I'm very excited to hear about it in the movement. So could you please share with us how you came up with this empowering, powerful product?
Thank you. Hi, everybody. How are we hanging in? It's after lunch. Energy, right? Okay, so I'm going to try to speak loud, and I need two hands, but what you're looking at right here is the I See You candle. Literally, I See You candle. What is so special about this and where this came from is because that gentleman right over there holding my gray phone, my father, because we're a family-run business, he took something very similar to this right here. He went up to an employee and he said, "Just brought you a cup of tea. You work really, really hard, and I just want to say I see you and thank you. Thank you. Thank you for what you do." This woman, she said, "How do you know I drink tea?" I said, "Because I see you." She had tears welling up in her eyes, rolling down her face, and she said, "Mr. Jim, no one sees me." And my father at that time came home, called my sister and I. My mother was fighting breast cancer in this moment, and ooh, wow, that got real. We needed a wish, okay? And we said, "Wow, can you imagine if you could do this? Put that on that cup of coffee and give her a moment and a wish." What does that do? It gives you hope. Gives you something to look forward to. So we spent 2 years researching what you now see. I See You candle. So this is a kit, everybody. It's the first ever of its kind. We have a patent pending base inside of this bow that you saw right there. So all you have to do is peel off the bottom of the bow, stick the candle in it, and put it on anything. So the majority of people in this room, I can tell, are business owners. You have your own entrepreneurial vibe in you, right? Yes, okay. Now raise your hand, please, if you know somebody who's maybe struggling right now, maybe could use a little bit of hope. Yeah, that's insane. This is so powerful, so powerful. Now, let's say you don't really want to go there. Maybe they're going to look at you and say, "What the heck is this thing?" Don't go there. Use it for a birthday. Use it to say to an employee, "Hey, you know what? You're the employee of the week. I just wanted to say, here's your gift card," and you can put it on a gift card and give them a wish. Maybe somebody's on a diet. Maybe they're diabetic and can't do the cake. Maybe they don't like cake. Maybe the DJ's wife wants to put this on her cookies that she gives to people. You can use this for anything. That's what's really exciting. We're 100% made in America, so we also use only recycled and sustainable materials. So the candle that we use is a beeswax candle. It takes 23 minutes to burn down, cleans the air while it's burning, for those of you who don't know. But I would love to have the opportunity to talk with any of you if you're interested in selling, buying, collaborating, getting to know each other, whatever that may be. I am local to Temecula, and we are brand spanking new. Nobody knows of the ICU candle, so I'm hoping through today and a lot of you guys, you help get the word out, and we put some smiles on people's faces. Thank you.
I reinvested in myself and started an EdFin TV radio show, local out of Temecula, California, right down the street from this Temecula City Hall. It's not that far. And so that show, the inspiration behind that show was being a woman in business. I knew that it's not about me and where I'm at. It's about what I do with what I have now and giving back and helping others achieve that same success. So that's the Edfin TV radio show. And then since then, I met this amazing woman here, Robbie Motter, and I am her co-director of the National Association of Female Executives of the Temecula Group in California. And then I also am I'm the author of the published author of the Making College Dreams a Reality: 9 Keys to Decision, Better College Planning, Better Life. So if there's any of you that would like to be on my show, and I have a few, she's going to be on my show with Janet Grisham, who is the one that actually has your product in her boutique. We'll have you on the show. But any of you also that would like to be on the show and be interviewed by myself, would be happy to have you.
Thank you.